This is the bonus episode.
They're putting it up for nomination for Best Foreign Film at the Academy Awards.
This is the director's first feature-length film. He just left questioning, like, was this motherfucker weird, or was he like...
Yeah, I don't know.
Cinema Rolls Podcast.
Welcome to the Cinema Rolls Podcast. If you were here on this last episode, we said that was the last episode for the season, but you might have also heard us say that we were going to come with a bonus episode. This is the bonus episode. So welcome to the bonus episode. We were reached out to by, I don't think she wants to be named or anything. I don't know, but ask her, but someone that was helping promote this film reached out to us and asked if we would like to review it. This film is probably a film you probably haven't heard of. It's a foreign film. It's a Dutch film. And this movie is called Reedland. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 45 minutes. Also, the original title is Reedland, but in English is translated to Reedland. The director's name is Sven Bresser. It's written by Sven Bresser. And it stars Gerrit Knobbe, or Knobbe. To be quite honest, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name. Sorry, Gerrit. Lois Reinders. Lois Reinders. I suck with these names. And Mirthe Labree, I think. If anybody else wants to correct me, let me know, because I know for sure I probably messed up at least one of their names. Do you want to give them a quick synopsis, Eric, about what this movie is?
Yeah, so it's about a man. He's a reed farmer, I guess, right?
Yeah.
He cuts reed.
Yeah.
And he finds a dead body on his land and kind of goes about trying to figure out who did it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
the
movie. Yeah.
And what did you think about this film, Eric?
I thought it was long.
Yeah.
It's very drawn out. It's really slow, but it's not a bad movie. It's very well made. The acting is good. Not so sure how it will do here
in the States,
the U.S. Yeah. Not really something a lot of people, at least not a lot of people I know, would like. It was good, and I can see why they are putting this up as the Dutch
nomination.
They're nominated because it's not nominated yet, but they're putting it up for nomination for Best Foreign Film at the Academy Awards. It's understandable. It's definitely an Oscar type movie.
Yeah.
What did you think?
This film was very interesting. I feel like today in modern times, movies now seem so copy and paste. Like, it feels like I see the same movie every week now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And to watch something like this is so different from what's mainstream right now. It was a very intriguing watch. This movie has an overwhelming sense of doom throughout the entire movie. It just feels like there's something looming around every corner. It feels like the director's like slowly pushing you to the edge of a cliff, and it feels like a disaster is inevitable. That being said, nothing all that disastrous ever happens. It feels like the movie is more concerned with making you feel uneasy rather than answering all the questions, which makes the entire film feel like really ambiguous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's uneasiness and its ambiguity definitely keeps you drawn in. Like I feel like, at least for me, like my curiosity is what had me locked in for the whole movie, even though it was pretty long, it was pretty slow paced. There's like no score and there's very little dialogue. Just that overwhelming tension and sense of doom is what kept me watching the movie.
Yeah.
This is the director's first feature length film. He has a couple short films prior to this, but this is his first full length feature film. And with that being said, I think he honestly did a really good job with it. Like, it feels like he made a movie with what he had access to. Like he was probably on this land, and this was like, he's like, okay, I can make something out of this, you know, and when you're kind of that limited budget wise, and you're that limited set wise, you know, and you're able to put together a good film like this, it shows that you have a lot of talent. And creating like an unsettling mood and atmosphere, and keeping those tensions kind of high, and keeping that throughout the film is not an easy thing to do, and he does it very well.
Yeah.
But the movie draws you in for so long, it almost feels like it's promising you that something crazy is about to happen.
Yeah.
And then nothing does. So to me, that's where the movie fell short for me. To give the movie and the director the benefit of the doubt, I think he is trying to convey a much deeper and overall message and meaning about the overwhelming forces of nature and evil that reside in our world, and being the main character being kind of like the everyday man that has to kind of deal with these forces, these that may be out of his control. I think that's what he's trying to convey. And there's a lot of other things I liked about it too. The cinematography is really good. It's not like a Roger Deakins. Like I feel like when people think of like, oh, this amazing cinematography, they think of like Roger Deakins' Blade Runner 2049. No, it's not like that. But it has good cinematography. The camera, it has a really good placement. They did a really good job of filming the reeds, like with the wind. The wind's like blowing the reeds around, and you have some shots of it during the day, some shots of it during the nighttime. I like there's this specific shot that the main character, he's like standing in front of the reeds, and the reeds are really tall, and they're just kind of blowing, and he kind of just like he's center frame, and he's just kind of watching these reeds in the wind. And I feel like that is kind of that. If one, it felt uneasy, but I feel like that's kind of that shot alone, I think, kind of displays all the themes in the movie very well. There's also a sequence in the beginning of the movie that I really liked. I thought was really good. He just got done working on his Reedland, and he is inside his house eating alone. It's in the first act, and I feel like it tells you everything about this character you need to know about him without any sound, without any dialogue. He's just sitting there eating by himself at the table, and then it cuts to shots of pictures on his wall. And on these pictures on the wall, you see that like this farm and this occupation has been kind of passed down from generation to generation, and it's been he's part of a long line of people working with reeds, and also shows you that he has a family, or maybe a daughter that's grown up now, or whatever. I think it's a daughter, right? He has a daughter.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Because then his granddaughter comes to visit him. So I think it's so. And then it shows a picture of his wife with a horse, but you don't ever see the wife with him at all. So it kind of insinuates that the wife has now passed, and this horse was very important to her, right? And this all happens within the span of like, I don't know, 3 minutes, and it tells you everything you need to know about this character. in those 3 minutes, and with just visual storytelling. And that's, I think it was really good. It reminds me a lot of this thing that Alfred Hitchcock said about visual storytelling. He says, if it's a good movie, the sound could go off and the audience would have a perfectly clear idea of what's going on. And I think the director Sven Bresser does a really good job of doing that with this movie, because there's like very little dialogue, there's no score, but yet it's a very cohesive, linear story. So I think he did a really good job with it. Because of its slow pace, I don't think it will do very well here in the States. The average American, they like big boom booms, big bomb bombs, and they don't like anything too artsy.
And they also like a movie to have an ending, they want
some closure,
clarification.
So I think that there's, coming from an artist standpoint, like I make a lot of art myself, I think ambiguity is really good in art, because art is subjective, right? If you create something that's very ambiguous, you get people talking about it. Oh, what does this mean? What does that mean? You create discussion over your art. But I think when it's too ambiguous, people don't have anything much to talk about because they didn't understand it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's a good art house film. I think if Sven ever wants to kind of go out of that bubble of art house, I think all he would really have to do is just commit to a solid theme or a solid piece of closure for the film, and just and wrap up at least some loose ends, to kind of really put a stamp at the end of the story, to be like, this is what the narrative is. This is what it was about, kind of thing. Just some kind of, so it doesn't have to be super super on the nose. It could just be just something to tie up some loose ends, because it was almost too ambiguous.
I think he did a good job, but it's just the movie opens with him finding that body, and so like they get your attention right away at the beginning. And you think like, oh, he's gonna like try to figure out who did this, and it's gonna be like this thriller, like, but it's not. And he's trying to figure it out, and first he thinks it's like the people, I guess, like from across the border, like they don't like those people.
The trotters, or whatever they're called, the truders, Troiters or something like that.
And then he thinks it's the neighbor boy. And then there's all these like weird shots of him like looking at that young girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, what are you doing, guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that other shot of him like looking in the mirror, and you're like, is he the person who actually did it? And maybe he does it, like maybe he has like split personality or something, so he doesn't realize he did it.
Mm-hmm.
But then none of that ever goes anywhere with any of those things,
So and that was my thing with the two. Like if he just had clarified, okay, this guy is actually the weirdo, right? If you were saying like if it came to an end and the plot twist was our main character was the criminal the entire time, I don't think it'd be super mind blowing, but at least it'd be like, I knew it, It gives you some kind of like that's what it was, But he doesn't ever do that. So then you're just left questioning, like, was this motherfucker weird, or was he like?
I don't know.
So and there was one specific scene that I did not understand at all, and I think if his point was to say, hey, Johan, our main character, was the weirdo, then it would make sense as to what, like, for the scene was when he puts his clothes in the washer because he has tar on his sleeve. And then he's sitting there like waiting for his clothes to be washed. I think he might be eating or something. And there's like a slow pushing on the door as the washing machine slowly gets like louder and louder, right? And it's getting crazier and crazier. His cup starts shaking, and you're like, oh shit, something crazy is happening. So then he goes and checks it out, and he pulls out a rock like this big black rock,
Oh yeah.
right? And then he sets it on the table, and it's almost like he's caressing it a bit, and he's like kind of looking at it like, I can't tell if he's looking at it like, what the fuck is this, or looking at it like, oh, that's where I put you, and then he starts walking it out to the river. He throws it in the river, and then he starts walking away. And then he turns back around like he made a mistake and jumps in the river, starts looking for the rock. He dives down a couple times. He finally gets the rock again, and he brings it out of the water and then takes it back to his home. But that never gets explained. No one. What's the point of what's the deal with the rock?
I don't know.
So here's my thing. If had he find like maybe if like the cops showed up at the end and was like, hey, you're now being investigated, and then they find the rock and they're like, this is what the lady was killed with a bludgeon to the head, and it was probably something like this, and you find out that the rock was what he used to kill the first lady that was on his property, and he actually was the weirdo, and now he's getting arrested or something. That would bring some kind of closure. It would make sense as to what happened with the fucking rock, it would tie everything together. But because that never happens, you don't know what the deal with the rock is,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he purposely put all these things alluding that our main character might be the actual murder,
Yeah.
But I think, again, to try to give him benefit of the doubt, I think why he never gives you that answer is because maybe that wasn't really his point. I think maybe his point is more like there is this overwhelming evil in nature, and we're naturally evil, and he's kind of naturally drawn to, maybe it's the same things that this weirdo committed on his property, right?
Yeah.
And in his mind, he probably has similar thoughts, but he probably tries to push it away, right? And I think that scene where he's like in his bedroom, like naked, and he's like has his face in his hands, and then he looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
I think there's an inner conflict happening with him about whether or not he is an evil person, whether or not he could commit a crime like that,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that might be the point. But like I said, it's so ambiguous. I'm just taking shots here, trying to guess what the actual meaning of the movie was, because there's not enough closure to really give you a solid answer.
Yeah. I mean, it could be just like telling like what society is like now, and how some bad happens, we're quick to blame someone else, like the others. They're not like they're like foreigners or immigrants, whatever. Or if that's not the case, then our neighbor, they're bad, we're not.
Right.
And then, but also we should look in ourselves because we are also capable of.
Yeah, it could be that too, for sure. Yeah, we're so quick to blame that maybe we don't realize that it's us that is actually the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'd be nice to talk to Sven about this. I'd like to know what he was trying to do here.
Yeah.
I might appreciate the film more if I actually had the answers.
Yeah.
But yeah, right now it's just assumptions and guesswork.
Yeah.
What do you want to rate this movie, Eric? What'd you rate this movie?
I think I would rate it maybe a 6.
6.
6 or 7, maybe somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I don't hate it, but I think if did have like an actual like closure, like something, instead of it being so vague and ambiguous at the end.
Yeah, agreed.
Would have been more satisfying.
For those exact same reasons, I think I'm gonna go with the 7. It was a very interesting watch, but it was just a little too ambiguous. And I would like some more answers. But I do think this director has some good instincts. I think he has a lot of talent, It is only his first film. I think we will see more of him. I don't doubt that he is just going to get better as a filmmaker, and perhaps I could really see him getting asked to direct a movie that somebody else wrote, and then him kind of killing that. To be quite honest, because he wrote this movie. Maybe his writing instincts aren't as good as his directing instincts. And perhaps that's why the story doesn't feel completely fulfilled. But if somebody that is a better writer than him comes along and says, "Hey, I want you to direct this movie," I think this is where we're really going to see him shine, honestly.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
So I definitely expect to see more of his work in the future, because I think he does have a lot of talent and he has a lot of good instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fun facts. Fun facts. Yeah, Johan, the guy who played Johan, Gerrit Knobbe, I think I want to say Knobbe. He is actually a reed farmer, and he was not an actor until this movie. Sven discovered him while he was kind of checking out the location, and apparently in an interview, people in his hometown, Gerrit's hometown, they now call him Gerrit Clooney Knobbe. And he does a really good job, yo.
Yeah, he does. And that's something I noticed when I watch the film. They like do the close up of his hands. I'm like, that's like an actual like person's hands. This isn't like an actor.
Yeah, you know? For sure. You could tell that the work he's done has really affected like him as a person. You know, like you said with his hands. You know, even his face. You know, it feels like he's just like lived his whole life as a working man. You know, there's something about the way his face has been structured and molded by his occupation. You know. And I think like stuff like that, like the fact that he hired this guy as his lead role, that's good instinct right there. And the guy did a good job. So yeah, I think the guy has very good instincts. I think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff from him in the future. Oh yeah, the horse that played Gris or Gris, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. The horse that got murdered at the end. Its name is Hasta la Vista. And it received 4th billing in the ending credits.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of characters in the film.
Yeah, put the horse in there.
Cool.
Put the horse in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is Sven's first feature-length film. He has a couple other short films, one in 2016 called Cavello, another one in 2018 called The Summer and All the Rest. Now, I want to say there's something else, but I guess that's all I had.
Yeah, I mean, I know the director said he didn't want to make like a normal movie, like have it like follow like the normal like structure. Yeah. And also he just really liked the reeds and how they looked, and you know, he heard about how like they cut them down and like they burn them and stuff and take naps on them. Like he just wanted to make a film centered around the reeds.
Yeah. Yeah, and then how these people interact with the reeds and how they kind of almost in a way coexist with it, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into suggestions, and you can go first, because there is a movie that this movie reminded me of, but you go first.
Okay. So first is Anatomy of a Fall.
I haven't seen that movie.
Nominated. It was good, and it was nominated for an Academy Award. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. Yeah. And yeah, it was good. It's about a lady whose husband falls and dies, and the only witness is her son, but he's like partially blind. So you don't know if she pushed him or if he actually fell.
She pushed him,
and that's kind of like the whole thing becomes a courtroom drama. But it was good.
Yeah.
And then the other movie I would suggest is Prisoners.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve? Is that Denis Villeneuve?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Which I always forget it's him, but then people say Denis Villeneuve. We're like, oh yeah, he did direct that movie.
He's one of my favorite directors. Yeah. He's amazing.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this movie actually reminded me a lot of Robert Eggers' The Witch.
Okay.
And the reason being is like in The Witch they are kind of struggling to coexist with nature and the evil forces that may reside within it. And there's even a scene, or a shot, I should say, where Anya Taylor-Joy, her character, loses the baby, right? And she's standing in front of the woods, and she's looking at the woods, and there's like this wind blowing, and you actually see like almost looks like something invisible is running away through the woods, right?
Yeah.
And that shot reminded me a lot of the shot I was talking about earlier, where Johan's standing in front of the reeds, and the reeds are like blowing in the wind, and it has like this overwhelming sense of like doom and evil within the shot. And The Witch is also a slower paced movie, and it was also Robert Eggers' first feature length film. Yeah, I think this guy Sven Bresser, if he were to get into, I don't know, something that has a little bit more of a solidified ending, a cohesive and ending with more closure, something similar to The Witch, I think he would knock it out of the park. And look at Robert Eggers now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After Nosferatu, he's like a household name. Yeah. And that's pretty much all I got for suggestions.
Okay. Cool.
Do you have any final thoughts on this movie, Eric?
Any final thoughts?
Yeah, because I don't think we're not going to get into anything else,
No,
right?
I don't think so.
I will say that I went to Letterboxd to see what other people thought of this movie, and very mixed reviews there too. A lot of 3 stars. I think a lot of people don't really know what to think of this movie. They're also a bit on the fence about it. Some people thought it was really, really good. And I think, and there's not a ton of reviews, probably like only like 5 reviews, and there's like 11 people that have rated it so far. You know, because I mean, it just came out. This weekend that we're recording right now. So, and it's a very limited release here in the U.S. as far as I know. I think right now it might just be playing in LA. I don't know if there's any other places that are showing.
Yeah, I think so.
So not a lot of people have watched it. Not a lot of people have reviewed it. But the people that have seem to be kind of on the same wavelength as us. So, yeah. I think it would have been a much cooler movie it had the main character been the weirdo the whole time.
Yeah.
Just give us a solid answer on that. That would have been really good.
Yeah. I know you were going to do like what we've been watching or what we're looking forward to, but I don't know how I let this slip. And it's okay that you did because last episode was kind of long. But I watched Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair.
Oh yeah, I thought about that last night actually. I was like, Eric didn't talk to me about that on the episode.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm assuming you didn't get a chance to see it.
No, I've been mad busy, and
yeah,
last weekend I had the kiddo. I can't really take her to go see a 6-hour movie with a bunch of blood and gore and violence and bad words.
Yeah.
So,
but no, it was cool. Because I never got to see the other 2 in theaters, and honestly, the first time I watched the movies, I wasn't a huge fan because I didn't understand what Tarantino was doing. I didn't understand the references and stuff, and I still don't because I haven't seen a whole lot of Japanese films and stuff. But
yeah,
I know about them now, and I understand them a little bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then watching it on the big screen, it was just really cool. We went to the Alamo because I figured it's going to be long, so I'll probably want to order some food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was cool. They had the Oren's origin, the animated part of the movie was extended, so it was a little longer. And the Crazy 88 fight was in full color instead of black
Oh,
and
no
white.
way. That's dope.
That was cool. So I think that's really the only like big differences. And then at the end of the credits, they showed the lost chapter, Yuki's Revenge, which is Gogo's sister. And I guess it was supposed to be in the original movie. It was in the original draft of the script, but got cut. I'm assuming probably because it was too long. But what was really weird about it is that it was like a Fortnite thing too. So it was a bunch of Fortnite characters, and when the bride would get shot, like her wound was blue and stuff. Like it was weird. Not like Fortnite, but it seemed more like commercially. Like it was like a big commercial for Fortnite.
Yeah,
and it just didn't really seem like something Quentin would do. So I'm kind of surprised that he did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool if we get to see the final, the last chapter, but I would have preferred it if it was just that and not Fortnite.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it, but when you told me that, I was like, "Whoa, that feels so not Tarantino." But
right? Yeah.
Cool, I guess.
So I don't know if they just like gave him a bunch of money for it or what.
Probably.
Or maybe he just been dying to tell this little story, and this is the only way he was able to do
maybe
it.
He was just like really wanting to get the story out there, and then Fortnite came to him with like an idea. They're like, "Hey, we'll put your movies back in, whatever. You can promote, Kill Bill through Fortnite or whatever." And he was probably just, like, they probably just offered up fucked up money. It's like, "Yeah, fuck it, why not? We wanted to sell this anyways, I wanted to kind of do this anyways, so this is a good way to do it, I guess." I don't know.
Yeah.
I do want to go see it. I might go see it this Sunday if Natalie lets me leave for like 6 hours. I really want to go see
I mean, if you get a chance, I definitely would recommend it. I know it's long. It's hard to find 5 hours out of your day to go watch a movie.
Yeah. So, but I do love Kill Bill. If you guys love Kill Bill, I will let you guys know right now. There's only like 2 or 3 movies you have to watch to really understand Kill Bill and what it's pulling from. The first one, and for the first movie, Lady Snowblood. Lady Snowblood that's what it's called, right? Lady Snowblood. Am I tripping?
I think so.
Yeah, Lady Snowblood. Super cool, super awesome movie. I watched it for the first time this year. It was awesome. And then there's a couple Shaw Brothers films called Executioners from Shaolin from 1977 and Clan of the White Lotus. I think Clan of the White Lotus is probably a little more important than the other one, but that's kind of the origins of the character Pai Mei, her Kung Fu master. So go check those out. I know like sometimes like if you want to get into Kung Fu movies, it feels a bit overwhelming because there's so many of them. But if you just narrow it down to like very specific ones like that, it's much easier to digest. For all of our fans that showed up for this bonus episode, thank you for showing up. And yeah, we will see you in the next year. We will be coming in hot and ready. I don't know. I don't think that's a good word choice, but
yeah, Little Caesars.
Yeah, yeah, $5 pizzas. But yeah, we're gonna be coming in with some new stuff and some new ideas, and we're gonna really start ramping up this podcast. So we will see you then, or we will see you another time. All right, everybody. Bye. Thank you. We love you. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.